Hey guys, welcome back to the One on One in 10, where you get to see your favorite indie artists from around the world one on one in 10 minutes. I'm your host, Ayasha Roberson, and today we are in the beautiful city of New Jersey. And of course, we're doing virtually interviews, and I have the chance and the pleasure to interview this really good R&B artist. She has this very soulful, sultry voice. I love her words, her lyrics, and her songs are very relatable. And she's just a really good gem. And I wanted to feature her on our show for this week. Without further ado, please help me welcome Miss Tashi to the show. Yay! Thank you so much for being on the show. And can you tell our fans what is your musical influences and how did you get started in the industry?
Well, I'm sure it probably actually it doesn't sound cliche. My biggest influence is my mother because
Oh,
when I was a child, she used to sing to me every morning, and every morning she would play a different artist. So she would sing Tina Turner to me. She would sing Lou Rawls. She would sing Natalie Cole.
mm,
She would sing also, I was born in the 90s, so she would sing current music that was on the radio, but she made sure that I knew my roots and that I knew classic music. Um, so literally just like a melting pot of so many great artists, Janis Joplin, Patti LaBelle, like I could go on and on and on. And she would sing and literally perform the songs like she was on stage. And I'd be like, wow, music's amazing.
oh,
So that's
wow.
where it all started.
Oh, so what's from your mom, which is a great influence. So your mom is a singer. She can sing. So she was going around the house oohing and ahhing and just singing all these
Yeah.
different melodies. And that was your musical influence. And that's a great influence because most artists that I talk to is usually other people outside their household. And it was your own mom that was influencing you to become the artist that you are today. Now,
Yes.
what has really motivated you to become this R&B songstress? What were some of your motivations other than your mom that you've seen when you were growing up that kind of influenced you to become the artist that you are today?
Growing up, I would see artists like Janet Jackson or Beyonce, or like I said before, Tina Turner, and I just felt like they were such great storytellers.
Mhm.
And I think it's so powerful to be able to see somebody perform either live or on television, and it excites you. It invokes an emotion that you didn't have before you saw them hit the stage, and you're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I like this music. It makes me feel something. It makes me feel excited. It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel whatever they're feeling or whatever they're singing about." And I think that is literally a superpower. And I always, it's like I always wanted to join the Avengers, which is music artists, having that power to rock a crowd.
Yeah, and I think sometimes too, like you were saying, like the all the powerhouse people that you just mentioned, there was something with inside your spirit that connected you to them, and you were
Absolutely.
like, "I'm one of them,"
Hmm.
just like kind of like thought speaking into existence, but that who you were at such a young age, and that's how you have blossomed into the artist that you are today, and that's a great um, story to talk about how these artists have influenced you so much in your childhood that has made
Hmm.
you into the artist that you are today. Now, what
Yeah.
are your biggest challenges as an artist? Because I know that so many artists struggle and they get upset, they get frustrated, like, oh, it's not working. But what has been your biggest challenges in the industry, but has kept you moving forward?
How much time do you have? So I have been working on my music project or myself as an official, songstress artist since I was about 12 years old. And I remember the first studio that I ever went to, it was in the Bronx in somebody's kitchen. Uh, it was just a makeshift studio, and that's where I got my start. And actually, really great songs came from that.
Wow.
From there, it's just been an uphill battle. A few years later, like I had a few production deals. A few years later, I was signed to Universal Records. That situation didn't work out, and then a few years after that, I was signed to Epic Records. That didn't work out, and so I finally decided to like take the reins and become the captain of my own ship and become what is called an independent artist, so that I could sing what I wanted to sing, write about what I wanted to write about. Because before I was getting songs that was kind of like pre-written, and I wanted to be a part of the creative process. I remember being told, "You're not singing this song with enough emotion." And you have me singing about heartbreak, and I'm 17 years old, and I've never even had a boyfriend before. Like, I can't relate to this song. Like, I'm trying, and I kept recording it until they said that I got it right, until it was to their liking. But, I didn't want to sing about heartbreak and sadness because I wasn't sad at that time. I wanted to sing about what I was feeling, and I was a happy teenager at that time. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to dance. I wanted to, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of music that I wanted to make. There are great artists that I feel that's kind of like what the vibe of a majority of their music is, which is like Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole, like relationship-y music.
Right.
And that's just not what I was on. And so when I made the decision last year, that I need to collaborate with some people that's going to listen to me and help me get my thoughts on the track as I see fit. I know what I hear in my head, and I need somebody to help me get it out. And just that's what I did. I made almost like an impulse decision. It was just like, drop everything else that I was doing, and this is what I'm focused on. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to plan it. This is how I'm going to execute it. And I did it. So I'm so excited for people to hear this new batch of music that I've done, because it is so authentically me.
Wow. You know what? When you were talking about when you were in the studio and you was trying to sing this song and they wanted you to have all this emotion, and you was like, well, I've never been through this, so I can't really connect to the emotion part because I've never really experienced that right now. Right. You just gave me those like whole Ashanti vibes with the happy song. Like I felt like you were 17 years old and that's where you were at. You were just happy. And I think sometimes as an artist, it's hard to connect to other people's songwriting material, especially if you've never been through what they're talking about. And a lot of times I think people in the industry, business managers, whoever they are, will say, oh, well, I think that your voice sounds very well singing this type of song, but I may not have experience dealing with this type of issue. So where am I pulling that from? You know what I mean? And a lot of times, as whether you're a songstress or whether you're an actor or actress, you have to pull from somewhere. Absolutely. So, if you can't really pull from somewhere, it's just like, well, I can't relate to. It's just almost like going through a therapy session and your therapist is saying, okay, yeah. Well, you can actually pick up whether the person can relate to what you're saying or not based off of their reactions. And you were able to have such willpower and tenacity and individuality to say to yourself at such a young age that this is what I want to do. I don't want to do it this way. This is where it's leading me to, and this is the risk I'm willing to take to get to the next level. Yes. And some people don't have that type of voice, and you had that voice, and that's very inspiring to hear that, because a lot of artists need to hear that you do have a voice and you do have choices. And I think sometimes we get into situations, or we get into these great opportunities that comes with other obstacles that we may not even encounter. And sometimes we're like, oh, well, do I really want to do this, or should I just do it this way? And then we lose a part of ourselves because we're giving something up to be able to have something back. So we think. So I love the fact that you were able to just find your voice, know who you are as a person, know who you are as an artist, and know what you want to do. And I think that's the best type of success story I could ever imagine.
I think it's so important when you said you feel like you don't have a choice, because when I had those production deals, I definitely felt like I did not have a choice. Like I had to do what I was told to do. I had to sing the music I was told to sing, and that was it. It wasn't up for a debate. And, so to be freed from that is it's the best feeling ever.
Oh, yes. Freedom is so nice. So it gives you peace of mind. Yes. So yes, it's definitely, you can lay your head down at night and you have no worries, you have no drama, because you're just at peace with decision you made. So that's awesome. Now, let me talk a little bit, because that felt as a challenge, but you overcame that challenge with so many great tenacity. But let's talk about some of the success stories you had, because you said you were signed and that you were, really a part of different production companies at such a young age. So let's talk about a little bit about your success as an artist.
So, like I said, I had been through like a few different production deals, and even with every experience that didn't work out, I learned so much from that experience, and I'm grateful that I had it.
Great.
So, with my first record deal, I remember the production company I was with was kind of like shopping me around to different labels, and finally, someone bit the bait, which was Steve Rifkin and Monty Littman at Universal SRC, and it was great. I just remember auditioning for them, and then being like, "You're getting a record deal," and it really was like a dream come true. Something you see on American Idol, like, "Oh, you're going to Hollywood." But what I didn't know at the time is it's like, okay, you're signed. We'll give you a small advance. Get yourself hot. And this is before Instagram was as big as it was. This is when YouTube was kind of first starting, when people were doing covers and things like that. So I would make dance videos and things of that nature, but it was hard because I wasn't allowed to release the music as I saw fit. So I was like, if I have a record deal and if I have all this music, why do I have to sing covers of other people's stuff? I don't mind doing it, to like get some attention, because people love familiarity, but I want people to enjoy my music that I've worked so hard on. And on that project, I literally cut like 60, 70 songs.
Wow.
So I just didn't understand why, it was like that. My single that I was supposed to come out with was featuring French Montana, and the music was so great and I was so proud of it, but unfortunately it just never came out because I wasn't in control of the project. And it's the politics of, you have to get clearance from the writers, producers, this, that, and the third. And it's like, I get it, like, let's have a conversation about it. Let's give them a small fee on the front end and obviously royalties on the back end. Like, how can we do this? How can we make this work? And I feel like I had a lot of people that worked with me, that believed in me, that were upcoming producers and songwriters that would have been okay with that, rather than like I didn't work with any really, really big producers at that time. So I didn't have to worry about, oh, pay us $50,000 for this beat or you can't have it. I felt like everything, or everyone that I worked with, it was like a negotiable situation, but I wasn't in control of the conversations with these people and things of that nature. So I couldn't even, I don't want to say finesse, but try to negotiate something to where the music could be put out, because it was so great and I felt like it deserved to be heard. But like I said, it was a learning experience, and it got me where I am today. I've learned how to talk to people. I've learned how to negotiate certain things. I've learned how to ask for what I want. And at this point in my life, I'm not interested in recording music that I don't plan on putting out, which is what led me here to, just being in control of my own project and putting things out as I see fit. But I'm also still learning, because it's not as easy as I thought it would be. I thought, because I wrote and co-wrote all these records and I paid for them up front, and that because I own them, that I could just put them out. And I've learned, no, you can't just throw your records away. Like, you really have to do rollout and promotion and all this stuff. And that stuff costs money. So I was like, whoa, it's not as easy as you think, but it's nothing that scares me into saying, oh, just forget it. Like, I'm always going to find a way to share my joy with other people.
I love it. I love the fact that you can take a negative situation and make it positive. It's like the old saying, you're going to make lemons out of lemonade. Yeah. So let us figure out how lemons. Yeah, and let me figure out how I'm going to do this. So, I can figure out how to really get my product out there with all the red strings attached. And a lot of times people get frustrated and they get overwhelmed, and they like, oh, I don't want to do it no more. And it's easy to kind of give up versus kind of staying in that seat and be like, okay, let me just figure this out. Let me learn how to really maneuver, how to really get my music out there from the front end and the back end.
Yeah, and I also want to say that getting yourself hot on the internet is not as easy as people think it is. There are plenty of extremely talented artists singing their tails off, and they're not getting the views on TikTok. They're not getting the views on Instagram and YouTube and things of that nature. Um, the weirdest thing will go viral. There's a video of me at the chiropractor that got 11 point something million views, whereas other stuff is not getting that same number. And I'm just like, I don't know what the formula is to it, but I know next time I go to the chiropractor and make a video, I'm gonna have my music playing behind it to try to, if this is what y'all want to see, then I'm gonna find a way to put my art, mix my art in with it.
It's all about, I always tell people, it's all about time, space, yes, and being at the right place. So you were just it was at the right time, in the right place, in the right space, and then everything just kind of like happened for you. So yeah, it's good that you have this energy. So if it happened once, it will happen for you again.
Yes, it will.
Yes. So let's talk about your new song, Halfway. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about what was the inspiration behind that song, and how did you come up with the lyrics and the production as well?
Well, the song was already like the beat was already made when I heard it. And so I got into the studio with Lanisha Nelson, and we were just talking about our lives, and I was telling her how I was in a long distance relationship. I live in New York, and my significant other lived in California. So me and him would jokingly say to each other, I'll meet you halfway. And that's really how we came up with the song. Just as simple as that, because when you miss somebody and you can't exactly just go to their house, like I live in Queens, New York, I can't exactly just run to Jersey or another borough where I guess where somebody would usually date somebody in that proximity. So it was hard. Sometimes you can't just get on a flight at 4 a.m. because you miss somebody. It gets expensive. California. So the song was an homage to that situation.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And can you tell us about any new projects you having coming out before the end of the year? What to expect?
Yes, so August 26th, I'm releasing a new song called In My Head. I'm really excited about it. It's kind of like an island vibe, definitely something you can dance to. Yeah, I've been waiting to release this song for a really long time because I released Halfway in March. And so I'm really excited about In My Head. And at the end of the year, I'm on season 2 of the HBO show Random Acts of Flyness. So I'm excited for that to come out as well.
I'm excited for you as well. So In My Head will be out, guys, on August 26th, and I'm looking forward to hearing that song. I believe it's going to be on Spotify and iTunes, everywhere. Yeah. So we can definitely listen to that music. But for the time being, you can listen to Halfway, which is her most latest song, which premiered back in March, and we can kind of get into that feeling so we can continue to support you, Tashi, and all the things that you do, and make sure you check out on season 2. You said HBO, right?
Yes, HBO. The show is called Random Acts of Flyness.
Random Acts of Flyness. I gotta check out season 1 so I can get up on season 2. So thank you so much, Tashi, for being on the show. Can you tell our fans, where can they connect with you on Instagram, social media, or website as well?
The website is Tashiana Washington, which is my full name. And my Twitter is Yes Miss Tashi, YesMsTashi. My YouTube is Tashi Music Online. I'm sorry for all the different handles, but you can connect with me on all of them through my website, TashianaWashington.com.
Super excited, and we definitely want to have that link in this episode. So guys, make sure you go to her website, find all her latest music, and also make sure you follow her on social media as well. And thank you again, Tashi, for being on the 101 and 10. And thank you for 101 and 10ers for tuning in to this episode. If you would like to be featured on our show, please email me, Ayasha, at urbansocialitenj.com. For the time being, guys, continue to stay blessed, continue to be kind to each other, and continue to know you never know what town we'll be in next week. Make sure you tune in to our next episode. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care and bye.
Thank you.